I really need to get a video out today, but I just don't know what to do it on. I mean, I could do buffalo chicken dip, but how would I do it? Well, I'd like to use a rotisserie chicken, but that's just not always a good option. Maybe if I threw some ghee down in a pan and maybe threw some chicken tenders or some chicken breast in there, I could sear those off and get some good flavor, but I'm kind of worried that'd just be kind of boring, though. Maybe there's another way to get some good flavor on there. Just, something before you even get going with the buffalo stuff. Like, what if I just added hot sauce on top of it while it's cooking? I think that might be a good way to do it. Just kind of sear it in there just before anything ever even happens. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It'll cook up really well and it'll infuse deep into the chicken. That way, later on, you won't have to worry about bland chicken. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll go ahead and do that. There's really nothing worse than bland chicken and something that's supposed to be full of flavor, so yeah, I think that's probably the best move at this point. And I may even end up with a nice little fond at the bottom that can break up with a little bit of water. Maybe even some chicken stock if I have it. But what about the cheese options? There's just so many out there, I'd like to use some goat cheese, but I don't think everybody likes goat cheese. Well, I guess I could use the typical cream cheese, but not everybody likes cream cheese. But I guess you can't please everyone. I'm just going to go ahead and use the cream cheese, I think. The Philadelphia, if I can find it. But really anything's going to work at this point. God, I'm tired. I just can't wait to get this coffee in my body. It smells so good in here. I've just got to remember that when I go to add the cream cheese, I don't need to pour out the water that I used to scrape up the fond. That's just going to add a lot of flavor that I don't want to get rid of. Ooh, I have those chopped onions I used in a video recently. I'm going to add some of those too, because that feels like it's pretty complementary with all these other flavors. I guess at this point, I'm really just making a cheese sauce to add chicken to, but at the end of the day, I guess that's what buffalo chicken dip really is. It's just some cheese and chicken that you dip your fingers into, or, well, pork rinds if you're not a savage. I think a little bit of sharp cheddar will make this go a long way too. It'll add just a little bit more depth than just your typical cream cheese and hot sauce flavor. That sharpness will really cut through this very nicely. I guess none of these dips really have to be that difficult. It really could just take like 5 ingredients and a block of cream cheese and make any kind of dip you want to. Like a cheeseburger dip would be pretty good, or some ribeye pieces, and mushrooms would be really good as well. It's always just the dipping receptacles that kind of get me down. Yeah, I like the pork rinds, but I wish there was more options than just that. I suppose I could just use some of these chicken tenders to dip all this stuff in, but I don't know. That might be a little too, redundant. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get some pork rinds anyway. I'll just go and chop up all this chicken and add it directly to this cheese sauce. Oh yeah, I can hear it now. Sounds like macaroni and cheese stirring in a pot. Since this is buffalo chicken dip, I better make sure to add plenty of buffalo sauce. Note to self, get something a little spicier, just to make sure it kind of breaks through everything else. It is going to be a rich dish after all. How do you even plate up a dip? Like, maybe I should just keep it in the pan and just clean it up a little bit. Maybe even just add a little bit more sauce on top just for that nice little pop of color. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. This sounds pretty good. I'm kind of excited to make it up. But let me get some coffee in me first and get out of this Walmart parking lot. Hopefully there's nobody parked next to me and I get out and scare the shit out of them. But we'll cross that road if we come to it.